For thousands of years, we've been told that Ra was the sun god who was deified in Egypt. But what if there's more to the story? What if Ra wasn't necessarily a deity, but the ultimate flesh and blood creation of the Anunnaki, a rabbit-man hybrid who ruled over the earth long before human civilization began? This is a story of ancient genetic experiments, forgotten legacies, and the building of the magnificent pyramids at Giza. The pyramids of Giza have puzzled historians for centuries. But what if the answer lies not in human ingenuity, but in an ancient being, existing long before humans, and who ruled Earth, not through mandates of conformity or declarations of ownership like today's papal bulls from the Vatican, but with a blend of emotional empathy and a higher, more connected consciousness that made him the natural choice of spiritual and moral leader to the hundreds of advanced civilizations that have come and gone on Earth in deep antiquity. Many of those unique civilizations held the learnings of Ra's Law of One as a torch to light their journey through their dawn of enlightenment and development of knowledge, into their glory days power, exploration, and sometimes dominance. Then, as the cycle of all things in this cosmos goes, into their dusk and inevitably, the final winking out of the light of their civilization. Sometimes we hear whispers of languages and of ways of existing, inaudible, almost alien to our untrained ears, unintelligible and muted by eons. Some, like Ra, understood this grand cycle of life, the dawn, the rise, the peak, and decay, so well that they created messages in stone, imbued with their knowledge, wisdom, and the cosmic secrets they discovered in their time. Their gigantic coded messages were displayed in a way that would still be readable in thousands of years, impossible to edit or completely disfigure as they knew new powers are prone to try and do. They are there, as distant teachers for those in the future that seek truth. None left a more global or more powerful message than the Ra Confederation. Ra, not the god of the sun, but Ra the Rabbit Man, represented in sculpture as the Moai on Easter Island, where the local inhabitants carefully record Ra's name within their own, the Easter Island Rei Panui. Ra, who we see here again at Sacsayhuaman in Peru, depicted as the Moai, is the recipient of the message from the gods in Egypt. Sacsayhuaman is the indelible pictograph in unyielding stone, built by Ra for a time when civilization had learned once again how to fly. Then, when viewed from the sky, the true meaning of the sight could be deciphered and would reveal the shocking truth of the message sent by the gods, Sacsayhuaman, or Sac the Humans. The declaration of a global war by the gods of Egypt, the gods of the Bible, against the threat to all earthly civilizations and beyond, the humans. We see here atop a mountain near Cusco, Peru, arranged as massive stone walls with no apparent function, is a signal wave, depicted emanating from the Egyptian pyramids to the long-standing ruler of Earth, Ra. Ra, who lived in a golden city in the mountains of Bolivia, not only ruled Earth from a place called El Dorado, or God's home, Ra's home, but was also the master builder of the pyramids at Giza, once again preserving his name in the word pyramid, pi, meaning fire, meaning consciousness as occultists and theologians understand, Ra the builder, and MID, or my identifier, so we can read pyramid as I am Ra, and consciousness is my identifier. In other words, I am Ra and my purpose is to raise consciousness here on Earth. This is my legacy, the Pi Ra Mid, guided by the ancient and wise yet justifiably ruthless Anunnaki gods of the Bible, Sumeria, Akkadian, and Babylonia. Ra wielded technology gifted by the Anunnaki, the powerful race of beings who came from the stars, as many ancient texts, legends, and thousands of stone carvings show on temples and clay tablets. Research by Dr. Robert Edward Grant, and many other brilliant minds, none of which we might add are recognized as mainstream academics, have overcome the poorly framed and incoherent stories of tombs and false gods to reveal more than our rulers would like us to know. They have begun to decipher the elegantly encrypted knowledge held by these ancient message boards to find, for example, that the Giza pyramids were built on key energetic points of the Earth. Others have correctly ascertained that they are resonance devices utilizing sympathetic harmonic vibration to amplify specific energies of the Earth. The Great Pyramid, in particular, as Dr. Grant discovered, was constructed at a location equivalent to the Earth's throat chakra, a point of resonance and thereby a location where sentient beings, once harmonized with the Great Pyramid, could communicate with the Earth herself. The pyramid's true purpose, as Ra stated in its name, to elevate consciousness to a higher plane of connection, enabling the initiate access to the consciousness of the planet and thereby the cosmos. When initiates entered the king's chamber, specifically the granite box within it, they were able to attune themselves to the Earth's natural frequencies and communicate with the planet itself, speaking with Earth's consciousness telepathically. Ra, through his profound empathy and mastery of the law of one, and as the master builder, was the patient sage, the teacher showing others how to utilize the pyramid's resonating powers to connect to their own higher spirit and beyond, the ultimate tool of enlightenment. His scepter, the staff of Ra, seen in many Egyptian hieroglyphs, depicts a rabbit head symbolizing the law of one, a philosophy of unity and higher consciousness that Ra himself composed. A being that is depicted holding the staff is recognized as a practitioner of the law of one within their civilization. Observing the law of one, not as a religious doctrine, but as a state of being, a way of living with the earth and its other inhabitants in non-destructive harmony. It wasn't until much later that man would take the law of one's teachings, warp them, and develop the concept of religion as a nefarious tool for societal control and manipulation. The design of the pyramid was no accident, built gigantic so that no civilization might corrupt its message. Its structure acts as a giant resonating device, amplifying the energy of the Earth's throat chakra. Initiates who entered the king's chamber were not just entering a physical space. They were stepping into a vibrational field designed to connect and elevate their consciousness. By meditating in the box within the chamber, they attuned their minds and spirits to the resonance of the Earth. This allowed them to speak with the planet, tapping into wisdom that transcends human understanding. It is why, after spending the night in the granite box within the king's chamber, Napoleon Bonaparte refused to share his experience of that night. He stated that no one would understand. Are we now beginning to understand? The Anunnaki, having mastered the manipulation of frequencies, worked alongside Ra to perfect this technology. The pyramid's layout and sacred geometry amplify natural Earth energies, creating a direct link between the Earth and higher realms of consciousness. Not a monument, but a device for spiritual awakening. According to ancient texts, the Anunnaki were master geneticists, creating thousands of hybrid beings through their experiments. The Rabbit Man Ra was their masterpiece, designed not for physical power, but for emotional, empathetic, and creative depth. And standing by his side was an Anunnaki advisor, an insectoid being with vast intelligence and wisdom. The Anunnaki worked with Ra to build great monuments, and the key to their success was Ra's command of the Law of One. The scepter he carried was not only a sign of his divine authority, but also a tool assisting in manifestation, allowing him to manipulate energy fields and construction processes in ways lost to time, yet available to us today. Thousands of years later, we see the genetic traces of Ra's influence in none other than Tutankhamun, whose elongated skull, a feature associated the elongated heads of the Paracas culture, discovered in South America, not through the binding of the skull, as science attempts to claim. Added to this, his unique burial chamber suggests a lineage beyond ordinary humans. King Tut's DNA, a blend of the Anunnaki's DNA, will reveal the lineage of Ra, the jackrabbit, and the monkeys that accompany him on the walls of his tomb and sarcophagi. King Tut, likely the last of Ra's hybrid descendants, with the long rabbit ears and empathetic nature encoded into his DNA. The hieroglyphics on his tomb suggest a specific hybridization, with depictions of jackrabbits, monkeys, and elongated skulls symbolizing his genetic heritage. Could it be that the secrets of Egypt lie in the forgotten legacy of a rabbit king? Ra, the empathetic ruler, with the help of the Anunnaki, built a global civilization whose influence spanned thousands of years, long before the creation of man, not just on the strength of his technology, but on the power of emotional and spiritual intelligence. The evidence is written in stone, in DNA, and in history that has been hidden for far too long. As our spiritual guide on this journey, Ra has revealed much more than just the construction and purpose of the pyramids at Giza. We must now question what else remains untold about Earth's ancient rulers, their cosmic origins, and their connection to the consciousness of our planet, and to look at these ancient sites with new, passionate, and unfiltered eyes. Join us as we explore the past, aided by the powerful tool known by the military as remote viewing, sometimes guided by Ra, giving us answers to questions as old as man himself. We certainly live in exciting times. Subscribe, like, share, and let us know your thoughts by commenting below. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be part of this exciting journey of awakening.